everyone, and welcome to another episode of the You Thrive Everyday Show. And we have Miss Bradee K joining us
Hello.
again for our part two. Doom, 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 doom. And we're excited. We're excited. We're excited. We're excited. We're excited. Did I say we're excited? Because we're excited.
Yes.
Okay, Miss Thing. So the last time that we met up, we were we towards the end, we kind of talked about your injury,
hmm
right? And how kind of wasn't there for you, things of this nature. So what I would like to do is go down a little journey, travel a little bit through your timelines. Okay. And so again, I'm gonna ask the question now that you're in a different energy, right? We're gonna go back to like we'll say 11, the 11-year-old, right? And so say that this
hmm
11-year-old has a friend that just went through the same thing she went through. With the family, she's feeling like a total alien. She's feeling like a total alien. And I want you to like really see her face. She's your best friend. Okay. Like, you know how you meet someone and you just met them, but you love them. You're like, oh my God, you're my best friend.
Yes.
So you're 11 and you meet her and she's your best friend and you guys are kicking it. And she's like, I really want to tell you something. And then she goes into her story. And it is, like I said, eerie for you because it is your same freaking story. And she's like, I haven't told anyone. What should I do? What would you tell her?
Oh, wow. That is intense. Um, I would tell her that, her voice is her strongest asset and she should definitely tell somebody no matter what happens, you know, because keeping it inside is what eats us. It eats at us. And that's what what weighs us down. Um, so yeah, I would definitely tell her, to talk and there's always like a family advocate. There's always going to be somebody on your side. So find that person and oh, I would just want to give her a big hug. Tell her that everything's going to be okay. Yes. And at that age it's like you think it's the end of the world. Everything's the end of the world at that age. And me reminding myself that I'm going to get older and things are going to change helped me. And I would definitely tell her that too. Oh. Excuse me. Um, yeah, wow. So yeah, so that's about that's all that's really coming to me right now.
Okay. And
Yeah.
so let's go to 24-year-old self.
Hmm. Oh, you're like, slow down, girl. And You know, it's interesting, you know, because I'm thinking of all this in the mindset I'm in now, you know. So I'd want that 24-year-old to know about all the different things that I did to create balance in my mind. You know, everybody's talking about hemi syncing right now, and that actually started that in 2023 after God Power 2 because they were talking about hemi syncing, and they gave us activities and stuff to do um, to help our left and right brain like think together, feminine and masculine think together, and so I would definitely want my 24-year-old self to know about these things and start doing them. And yeah, oh wow, things would just things like have a way of balancing themselves out when you do certain when you do the work. It's like I'm just, like I do my tapping and grounding, and I a lot of nature walks and stuff. So it's like these things seem, really, I guess for lack of better words, easy. Like I'm not really doing too much, right? But and I it makes me just like it's just amazing how it makes me feel calm, and more level headed. And even at work life has changed, so I would definitely let 24-year-old me know that everything's going to be okay, and you're going to start doing these different things and people are going to come into your life, and as long as you let go of all of these bullshit people that you're hanging on to that don't care about you, running after, you're going to be okay.
But that's
So
hard for a 24-year-old that's used to a certain momentum of life. You know what I mean? What you're saying sounds boring. You want me to hemi sync? What the fuck is hemi syncing? You want me to walk around nature and do what? That's boring. Like we're on a move, we're in motion.
yeah, yeah, no, that's true. Because I was definitely running around, going to clubs, and I love to dance. Still do.
So maybe it would be like an introduction. First of all, what, from your perspective, if you were describing it, which you are, what is hemi seeking?
Um, it's where you basically balance your left and right brain, your feminine, masculine brain. And a lot of the programming that we are born into um programs us to be very like left brain, survival mode. Um and yeah, we're just not into that emotional side of ourself as much as we should be, where that's really the side that is it uh in tune more with source, I
Right.
guess.
Your
Uh-huh.
intuition. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then so what do you feel that does for you?
For me, it keeps me calm. It keeps me, able to, I, I always have had like in the past a reactive, like I was just reactive to everything. I wasn't, never sat and thought about things before I, gave my reaction. It was never an answer. It was always just a reaction. And um, so, yeah, it helps you to slow down. And um, I've really come to appreciate life more. Um,
And so now that you're in like this more balanced state, because honey, okay, for the people that don't remember, Miss Bradee K is Aries,
right.
okay, all that fire up in that thigh. Okay, so her turn up is real. It is real. So, how do you exercise that part of yourself in, from your perspective now, would probably be more constructive? How do you channel that energy? Because it's there, and as we know at our age, because we're only 25.
Mm-hmm. Period.
You know, how do you channel this momentum of energy? Because we live, you know what I'm saying? And so in these spaces, it is definitely a calm, meaning the thoughts, the mind, and the brain are a little more quieter. You know, you're more of a clearer channel, meaning you can hear your intuition. You know what I'm saying? So, like, how do you deal with that hypeness? You know, when you're ready to turn up, what you be doing, guys?
Oh, wow. Um, it's been so long since I've got, but I still feel her because I know, like, especially at work, when I'm working with other chefs, I can, you know, like the balancing and work that I've done, it's helped me so I get very like hyper organized. I get really hyper like um vigilant. I want everything. I'm looking around. I want everything to be organized in its place right now. And I'm the only one who can do it. So when I'm working with other people, like I really have to exercise the patience. So yeah,
So, what it sounds like, I mean, what I'm hearing is your creativity is your outlet. But at the same
yeah,
time, what shows up, because of this energy is the want to control, and so that's what you're navigating through now
yeah,
is, freedom of expression for others
yes.
and
Oh, so
yourself.
good.
It starts with yourself, but
It does. It really does.
but yeah, so creativity. Okay. And so what is it that you love to do that expresses your creativity?
I mean, cooking is my number one passion. I love cooking for other people. And um, I was at home recently because I just had my birthday. So I went home and visited everybody. And my favorite thing is to like just like open the fridge and like pull stuff out. And my mom is like famous for having food, but it's not food that you can just like grab and eat. You know what I mean? She's like, there's nothing you can just grab and eat out of her fridge. You have to prepare everything. Like, she has like all these little ingredients. So, yeah, I love being able to just like, somebody else looks at the fridge and like, well, there's nothing to eat. And then I go there and I pull out all this stuff and like I made some omelets or something. I was like with goat cheese and mushrooms and onions, and they were so good. And it's just like, where did this come from? I didn't even know we had this in the fridge, so
I'm in love. Like,
yes.
I need you in my
That's
house
my favorite.
immediately.
Yeah.
Oh. So let's talk about some things. Okay. I love that you just said that because like let's have some fun, right?
Yes.
So so it's romantic time and we got lovers and they're foodies.
Yes. My favorite.
Recommendation do you have? Like, especially for the masculines, you know. Um, okay. Let's start off simple. What is something simple that can be prepared for their lover? You know, they want to do something a little special and it looks good, but it tastes good and it's simple.
Hmm. Oh, I love doing pasta.
Mhm.
Pasta is always simple. I mean, I guess for me, because I grew up, I'm Italian. I grew up eating pasta like almost every day. So for me, and then you just like throw some tomatoes and onions and garlic in a pan with olive oil, salt, and pepper at like 400 degrees in the oven. Roast them real nice. And then you take your pasta, throw it on. I mean, that's like the easiest, most delicious thing. Throw some herbs in there, like if you like oregano, basil, and stuff. So simple, so delicious, and people will think you spent all day on it because it tastes so good.
Oh.
Yeah. What else?
So what kind of
Yeah.
sauce do you put on the noodles?
Well, your sauce is the tomatoes
You
and
roast
onions
it?
that you
Mhm.
roasted. Yeah, because the tomatoes break down a little bit
Yep.
when you mix it, and it's really good.
Mhm.
Especially, I'm a big salt girl. When you boil your pasta, you better have salt in that water.
Okay.
Yes. You
Okay.
know, even when I make my pasta for other people, they're like, "Oh my God, these noodles taste so good." It's like you just have to salt your pasta, and your noodles will taste like that too. you
Right.
know, my mom hates when
Um,
I say the word noodles, and I'm saying it right now, and I'm realizing it.
what she wants you to say? Pasta?
Yes, it's pasta, Brady. It's pasta. Those are not
Oh.
noodles; they're pasta.
Oh. Well, I got a 2 year old, so we like, it's
Yeah,
noodle.
that's like the generation gap right there. Because yeah, I grew up hearing noodles too. Like,
That's her. That's her shit. She goes bananas. Like
yes,
it don't matter what kind of noodle. I usually like go to the international section and they have their little like the Chinese. It's actually called China something, but it ain't got all that junk in there. And so I
yeah.
used to get those kind of noodles. But anyway, all right. So tell me what are some okay. So this is cool. This is cool. So people talk about these natural aphrodisiacs.
Oh, okay.
So tell me what that is about and if you've tried any and how that affects you.
I hear a lot of like talk about oysters, being an aphrodisiac. And I've ate oysters and I didn't feel any kind of stimulation myself, but not in the eating anyway, but in the visual. The visual of the oyster is a little sensual,
Yeah.
very vaginal like.
Yeah. No, it
So,
really is. I went on a date and this dude, my date at the time, was eating oysters. And for me, okay, so this is, and I probably need to try oysters again, right? But what had happened was I was at this restaurant and they had these drinks. And I can't even remember what they were because the experience was so dramatic for me that I just remember the oyster in the drink. And so you like shoot it, and they put the oyster in there and you shoot it. But like I felt it like from the time it entered my mouth all the way to and like when it got to my throat, I was like, oh God, I can't like the texture did something to
yeah.
my brain, and I'm not usually a texture person, and I love seafood, like I love mussels, like I love seafood, but and calamari, you know what I mean? A lot of people don't like that texture, but I say all that to say like I'm usually not a texture person. But when that thing, I was like, I can't.
Yeah, it's something about the sliminess and stuff that just like it makes me feel like I'm swallowing my ugh, it makes me yeah.
No, but ejaculation, for those of us who have swallowed, I even
And
tried
then
to
I
like
have
put that in my mind. You know what I mean? Like just and just, how you just and like it's done.
it's kind of yeah, it's kind of like that swallowing an oyster is and I wonder if that's like the aphrodisiac part of oysters and not necessarily like the actual eating of the oyster.
Yes.
It's what the oyster physically represents. Because, like, for men, it's like, ugh, I'm so shy all the time. It's like eating pussy for men.
Yeah.
And for women is exactly what you were just saying, swallowing.
Yeah. And I thought I was gonna be able to do it because you know how it go.
I know.
Especially when you have a visual lover, you do your thing, you swallow, and it's like all gone.
Yeah.
But it was like a thicker than ejaculation. And it was like, I was like, oh God, I can't. I was, like instantly
Yeah.
like I just,
I if when I eat my oysters, I put all the sauces. I do the lemon juice, I do the hot sauce, and I do um it's the oh now I can't think of the sauce. Mignette sauce. It's like onions, basically onions and vinegar.
oh.
But I put all of that on there and then I'll eat it.
And so you
Cause it
literally just swallow, you don't chew.
yeah, you swallow it. Yeah. They're
And
very
while he was eating, I mean, and I think we're on the right path here because while he was eating them, like I was like, I actually wanted to try, but then that look, that trauma hit me, that PTSD.
yes. It's a
And I was
motherfucker.
like, fuck that. But they did, it is very enticing to watch someone eat oysters. It really is.
Yeah, I think that's the aphrodisiac part.
Okay. And then afterwards, you feeling all like, those oysters,
Right?
the way you ate them.
Right, exactly.
Okay. Okay. So, what are some other aphrodisiacs?
Um, dark chocolate. Dark chocolate. Specifically dark chocolate. And especially if you don't, like the oysters. Chocolate is very and And when I say specifically dark chocolate, because the more milk and stuff you put into the chocolate, it like dilutes it.
Yeah.
But dark chocolate has like I I don't know exactly, but it has something in it that it like can change your mood and make you like happier. That's why they like um recommend dark chocolate for
So like
like
it
women
triggers
on
your
their period because
endorphins.
it can help you get out of that like kind of angry mood.
Yeah. So your
Oh yeah.
endorphins.
And the higher the cocoa content, the better. So you want like 70% or better.
Mm. Because let me tell you, honey, I was at this retreat and what happened was I always pronounce it wrong, but people find it entertaining. But the cacao, is that how they pronounce it in Mexico?
Cacao.
Cacao. And
Yes.
so they grind it up into a powder. And then you
Oh.
do something called rapé,
I've done that.
which I've never done coke before. And so that's what one of the girls was telling me. She was like, it's gonna burn like fuck. She was like, it feels like the first time I did cocaine. And I was like, okay. But
Oh no, that is not what it's supposed to feel like when you do.
no, but okay. So
He had some dirty stuff. I'm
it
sorry, let
goes
me
up
stop.
the nose, you know.
Yes.
And oh, the coke that she did was dirty.
Yeah. It's not
Oh,
supposed to
okay.
burn.
Okay, so that's what she
Anyway,
told me.
let
She
me
was like,
stop.
it feels like the first time I ever did coke.
Poor thing.
And I was like, I don't know, I've never done coke. But but
That's hilarious.
yeah, it's a rapé, so it goes up your nose, like you up,
Yeah.
and it's pure grounded coca.
Yes.
And whoa, I was lit. I was fucking lit. I was fucking lit. But I felt so I'm a weed smoker and
Hmm.
I felt like it was kind of like a hybrid, but more on the sativa side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you could feel the indica because I instantly relaxed.
Oh my
I
God.
felt
Yes.
light, if that makes
Yes.
any sense, all at the same damn time.
I
And
That's exactly how I felt too.
and I
Yeah.
felt it right here.
Yes.
So that's very interesting that you talk about the chocolate because the more coca that's in it, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? The more let's say activated. I like activated.
Yeah.
And for some of you, you'll like that high. The higher you get it. And the endorphins get to going, you know what I mean? Oh, thank you for mentioning that. We
Definitely.
are excited. Like my body's
Yes.
tingling and everything. I got goose.
No, there's this lady I met in Brooklyn, and she had the cacao mixture. She gets it specifically from a shaman in Mexico. She like goes and gets it herself, and she's indigenous from Canada, and so she was had like a little booth and was talking about the rapé, and I mean, it was an amazing experience. Amazing.
It is.
And I recommend it for everybody who's going through something. Um, I did the cacao one for the heart, and I also did another one she had for the nervous system.
Ooh,
It
uh-huh.
like resets your nervous system. And that one, because I was like anxiety city, everything was um, a big deal. And so she gave me this, and it was like almost instantly I just like started crying, and then I started laughing uncontrollably. And I was just like, what is I just felt so happy. But yeah, I recommend rapé for everyone. It's if you can handle the few seconds that your nose is burning, but
Yeah, and
that's
it took me
win with that.
that's what I was gonna say as a disclaimer because it's uncomfortable that first time. It's almost like if you could imagine like shooting like some dirt up your nose, you know how that would kind of
I
feel.
used to snort pixie sticks, so yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
In
So
elementary school, we were bad kids.
I would say it depends on how many times a day you do it. But like for me, when I first started, I was at a retreat and
Uh-huh.
I wasn't participating in the medicine anymore and like the DMT. I was on a whole mission. That's the whole story. But anyway, but I was participating in the rapé. And so I was probably doing it maybe like 10 times a day. So
Oh
it took
wow.
me, yeah, it only took me like 3 days before, like my eyes, like not even 3 days, maybe 2 days before my eyes stopped like watering and it was just so extra, extra. And then I
Hmm.
think I did it continuously for about 6 months. I had bought me some bottles and I was gifted, um, damn, I forgot the name of it, the instrument you use.
Oh, one of those. It's like the little pipe that they used to
Yeah,
blow.
for you to blow it up
Okay.
your own nose. But I
You
was,
can do it to yourself?
yeah.
I didn't
Oh,
know
wait.
that.
Yeah, when we finish, I'll have to show you because I think I bought it off eBay because I bought another one for me to do to other people, which my daughter just recently tore that shit up. It was so gorgeous too. It had crystals in it and everything made of wood. Yeah.
Oh, cute.
And I don't even know how. Anyway, that's a whole nother. But yeah, girl. So I was gifted it. It's a bird. So it was
Ooh,
probably about this big. And oh, that's funny. I was just talking about birds, and it was a red bird. It was a fucking parrot. Oh,
love red.
yeah. And so yeah, it has a mouthpiece, and then it has the piece that goes up your nose. And then so like you
Mm.
just take a little powder. And that's the thing too, is I was taking really small dosages. So I think
Mhm.
that my experience wasn't that bad. But I just, put a little powder in your hand, and then the nose part, you just scoop it up a little bit, and then just blow of your own.
Yeah.
And my cousin had anxiety really bad, and I gave him I had one and I can't remember what the herbs were. One was for mental clarity, and then the other one was the cacao for the heart. And
Yeah.
I gave it to him and oh, and he had allergies. And he had
Mm.
allergies. And they were acting up that day. We were outside. And as soon as he coughed and hacked and feel like I'm dead. After he did that, he's really dramatic. My whole family were really dramatic. I think Mr. Colin, we all should have been actresses and actors. Um, but after he did all of that, like he was good. Like he even hit me up a few days later and was like, "Cuz, what is that? I need that shit." Like he was great. He said he was clear, his mind was clear, like all of that.
Yes.
Oh, I knew this conversation was going to be a great conversation. So when we get off, I got to find this site. Um, one of the guys that was at the retreat, he put me onto this site, and it's you really got to be careful with these people and their additives and all of this shit. Like you want
Oh
to
yeah.
be pure herbs.
Yes.
um, so he gave me a site that he really messes with, and he does retreats himself. So we're gonna order some.
Ooh,
This didn't come up for no reason, right?
right.
Okay, so chocolate, dark chocolate. And the ladies be loving the dark chocolate,
Hmm.
especially with the strawberries. That's really popular.
Yeah, if you really want to like impress your significant other, melt down some dark chocolate. You don't even have to dip the strawberries. You can just drizzle it on if you want. Like,
Drizzle it on some body parts.
oh, ooh, that too.
What you're talking about?
Might be a little warm. That would be like way better than candle wax. Oh, and oh my God. Oh, my brain is going places right now. Ah, that's, I never even thought about that. Drizzle on body parts. Yes, you
We like
definitely could.
it. Okay, we like it. Okay, so what's interesting too is I've heard that asparagus is a natural aphrodisiac, and I love asparagus, and I just don't be feeling horny after asparagus.
I wonder if that's like a visual thing too, because I love asparagus too, and I don't never feel no, but visually it's very phallic looking. So I wonder if it's a visual thing because it looks like a penis, and then you put it in your mouth.
Put it in your mouth.
Yeah. Oh my God.
All
I'm
right.
now that
Okay, do you have any others on your list?
um no, I guess chocolate and seafood are really the only things.
What other kinds
I
of
don't know.
seafood?
Um, well, apparently there's uh like shellfish
Mhm.
can make can get your like blood pumping because the chemical makeup of the fish or whatever, I don't know, whatever you're eating, it's but I mean, oh, I wonder if it's like more of the spices
No,
because also spices like cayenne, like hot spicy stuff
oh,
can get you feel like, ooh, mix a little cayenne pepper with some dark chocolate.
we
That would be
like
good.
the spicy.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say for me, like shellfish, yes. I don't know what it is about the shellfish, but for me, it's like the perfect date.
Yeah.
I never tried it as like a first date. I've only had one night stand in my life, and it was on my bucket list. Um, but I'm like, maybe I would be easy because it does. Like, I don't know. It's like, if you, oh, this feeling right here when you had a lover, either y'all haven't had sex, but tonight is the night. Or y'all have had sex and it's the beginning processes of y'all having sex. And y'all going on a date tonight and you excited, you know what I mean? You got all these visuals going on in your head, da, da, da. That kind of excitement that you feel. I be feeling that with the shellfish.
Yeah.
I be feeling that way.
And it's like eating with your hands and, you know, like like the hand to mouth. Just something about the sexual visualizing, visualize look. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's the
no,
thing. And I
lobster
actually
too.
started eating more with my hands just to put my own energy into the food.
Yeah. Oh, that's, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, because I mean, as soon as we touch something, our energy goes onto it. So, wow. No wonder they invented utensils so quick, disconnecting us from all types of stuff.
Civilized.
Oh. Right.
Oh. I don't know, y'all. I didn't got excited. I was excited in a different way. Now I'm excited in a completely different way. Like, girl, you ain't had none in a long time. Like, woo hoo hoo.
I love it. Yes.
But I appreciate this because I didn't even really think about the shellfish thing. I really didn't, but I love it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, so it is the shellfish for me. That's the true thing. It's the true thing.
Yeah. I'm sure there's more. I just don't, nothing's coming to my
Well,
research that.
maybe that's a thing, you know what I mean, that you can advertise. Um, I don't know. I've never been to New York. Maybe I'll come and visit you one day. Um, but
Oh, that
like
would be
your
awesome.
Manhattans, whatever the upscale places are, to like advertise, like romantic nights, you know what I mean? And
Mm.
have these different foods, a part of the menu because everybody's having sex.
Excuse me. Oh, oh yeah,
And that could be a few coins.
definitely.
Like,
Sorry. Mm, mm. It's like something just got in my throat right now. And it's got the mushrooms on it too.
yeah, we love the shirt. We love it.
Thank you.
Okay, so just real
Right.
quick before we close this thing out, is there any foods?
Did you press record? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Are there any foods that you could recommend that alter the body in any way, whether it's sexual, whether it's healing, whatever?
The first thing that comes to my mind is turmeric.
Mhm.
Turmeric is very underutilized, I feel like, and sometimes used wrong. Turmeric is a fat soluble herb. So you want to put it in olive oil or something to bring out the healing nutrients of it. So,
Wow.
like for me, my client is that I cook for is older, and so her joints need um, a lot of
Lubrication.
care.
Okay.
And so I put a lot of turmeric in her food. I cook. She loves curry, so I cook with curry. Curry has turmeric in it, and yeah, I put it in the olive oil first and let it kind of marinate, and that brings out all of the healing, anti-inflammatory properties of the turmeric. And I mean, it's really good for your body. Um,
You.
and it doesn't have like an intense flavor, so you
Right.
can literally mix it with anything.
So
You know,
that's interesting that you say that. So because there are a lot of people that are making products with the turmeric. And so would you recommend, like heating it in some oil just to activate it and then putting it in your product?
yeah, and if you are buying a turmeric product, you want it to be oil based because if it's not oil based, then you're not getting any benefits from that turmeric.
Wow.
So like turmeric tea and stuff like that, you can still drink the tea, but you want to boil it in water in milk and not water because the fat in the milk will bring out the
Healing
properties.
properties. Wow.
Yeah.
So, wow. So then, the next thing that's going to come up is the dairy.
Uh-huh.
So would you, for those that are not into the dairy milk, maybe like a nut, like a milk made with nuts?
Yeah. because the nuts have fat in it,
Mhm.
and um when you blend the nuts and release the fats and stuff, it will um bring out how it will dissolve the turmeric. And um it's kind of like, even like marijuana. I'm also a smoker too. I used to make edibles. That's a fat soluble herb, so that's why you cook it in oil
And
to
oil.
make. Yeah. um
Mm.
what else? Garlic garlic I feel like is underutilized, and there's a lot of
Things
GMO garlic.
about the fact that kind of almost similar to turmeric, like you got to cook it a certain way to get the properties out of it, the healing properties.
And I mean, eating it raw is almost like the best. Garlic is really spicy though when you don't cook it.
Right. It is.
um but yeah, I love it in salads. And I like to put it with fennel, because fennel's really sweet. And I don't know, for me, I just like that.
No, I
Especially
use
when you cook fennel, it's super sweet. I love it.
it is like I use it in my tea
Oh, okay.
for my digestion. Uh for my daughter, my daughter and myself. I had a C-section, so just to keep
Oh,
everything working properly, I do put it in a tea bag, the fennel, and it's a part of my tea regimen. And for my baby girl, um,
oh, that's beautiful.
because I'm still breastfeeding. Um,
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so I'm kind of trying to let her body like do its own thing before I start like pumping her up full of all these herbs, which is about to happen as soon as she turns 3. Like I'm pumping her up, you know what I mean? I'm just letting her body take its natural course, and you know, but yeah, it's fucking sweet.
Yeah,
I'm a bitter person with the taste. My taste buds, I prefer bitters. And so it's really sweet. It's really
yeah,
sweet. That and the anise. Am I pronouncing that right? Anise.
yeah.
It's like a black
Honey.
licorice. I use that too for the digestive system, and I put that in the
Yes,
tea.
that's so
That's
good for your gut. Yeah,
it's sweet. It's so sweet.
yeah,
But mixed with the honey, and I do green tea, I do dandelion, I fucking milk thistle, I do a whole little thing, what I'm trying. And I mix all these herbs up, and oh, I just add needle too.
Oh, nice.
Honey.
Yeah, that
And
was
it's
good.
fabulous. It's fabulous. Because at first I was like, I don't know, we're gonna be able to do this. That fennel and that anise is sweet. It's sweet as hell.
Yeah, yeah, it's very intense. It'll overpower anything if you don't balance it right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And um herbs in general are, I feel, underutilized.
Yes.
And
And we're so used to
I
the stuff in the jars now, you know. Is it
mhm.
even real?
With all the GMO stuff that's out there right now, and um everybody jumping on this, I feel like pharmaceutical companies are getting wind of how popular natural things are nowadays. So they're throwing out their, GMO stuff in a cellulose. It's a cellulose capsule filled with all of these delicious. It's like you really have to read labels and see who's making stuff, and where it's coming from. And the more you can um you know your vendors and stuff, the better. Because yeah, if you're just buying stuff on Amazon or ordering on the internet, you don't know where it's coming from unless you really Yeah, like you know the person whose website you're ordering from, or you know, you it's tough nowadays.
Yeah, it's
There's so
right on
much
these
out
streets.
there.
And thank you for saying that because for those of you who are not onto your official fairy godmother, go over there to that YouTube channel. We dropping a lot of gems.
Yes.
Um, but that's one thing that the fairies were talking about is we can now start to really wrap our minds around us having great food because like we're going through a process of clearing that, and they even told me and showed me, and then I later heard about fires that were taking place on these big ass farms, that were working with certain entities, vaccinating the animals, doing shit to the plants,
Yeah.
injecting the vegetables with the animal fat. So it was like even you vegan, you still fucking with the animals. you know,
Right.
so we're clearing like all of that shit up, including the air, getting rid of the toxicity. They were also
Hmm.
saying that a lot of people's bodies, you feel a little sick, but a lot of it too is you've been so used to so much toxicity. You know what I'm trying to say.
Toxicity.
Toxicity.
Yes.
Toxicity. Okay. That your body is adjusting. Okay. So thank you for saying that. This has been, I love it. I feel like
Yeah.
the colored Martha Stewart out this bitch or something. We getting all the tea. Okay. Food. We love the food. Okay.
Mhm.
And we love sex. So,
Yes. I know, and I really like that's one thing that really gets me like going and excited is like, talking about food, making food for other people. Like that's I don't even like cooking for myself is like, oh, I gotta cook for myself. I'd rather go out and eat. But when I get a chance to cook for other people, I'm like, okay, let me make a menu and there's gonna be how many courses, and like, oh, I love it. It's like I get so excited.
hmm. Wow.
It was a good conversation.
I have a challenge for you then. Because,
Oh, okay. I
yeah,
love a challenge.
I would like to see what you would do differently because pescatarians, that's a very popular thing now, you know.
Yeah. Everyone's going back to the Jesus diet, they call it.
That's hilarious. That
Yeah.
was great. That just tickled my whole fancy. I never heard that before.
Oh, really? Oh my God. I hear it all the time. It's so funny.
Fish and wine? Look.
Yeah.
Oh, that was great. The Jesus diet.
Right.
Oh, I gotta start using that when I stop breastfeeding. That'll be my reason for being drunk all the time. I'm on the Jesus diet. Wine and seafood.
No,
No,
it's more to do with like fish and vegetables,
no, I get it. I'm
eating,
just making a
eating Mediterranean because he's kind of, in that area, a lot of water.
yeah. So I would just one recipe that you never heard of yourself, you never done yourself. And you're gonna sit and think about these combinations of taste and textures and herbs and spices to come up with like your own fucking concoction. And I want you to name it
Oh,
Bradee K.
okay.
I love it.
Ooh.
Look at your mind go. Look. We love it. We love it. All right, y'all. We want to thank y'all so much for tuning in with us today. We had a good time. Hopefully, y'all learned some things, especially, how to reel your lover in. Eat them oysters. Sign
Right.
us out, Miss Bradee.
Yes, eat to balance your life.
Mhm. I like that. Nice and simple. Eat to balance your life. If you're like your fairy godmother, we also eat to collect the data to know what's going on with the collective, you know, right? What's going on in nature, what's happening.
Yes.
All right. We love y'all. Peace, love, and bliss. Peace, love, and bliss. Through your heart, boo. Peace.